hype right now.
At least until the first map check.
Yeah, for sure.
And both of our runners are starting off in the Dark Chapel, which is the Dark World equivalent of the Sanctuary. So there's our check.
Oh.
We have a blue pendant on Misery Mire, a 5/6 crystal on TR, and it looked like everything else was regular crystals.
There was a pendant at Thief's Town as well.
Oh, okay.
So already 2 pendant in the light word, not the 3, so bad. No moon pearl at least.
So the beginning of Inverted Seeds is generally the most challenging part because you're facing Dark World enemies with 3 hearts and green mail.
Yeah, that's why we will see those runners try to not get hit as much as possible. And the other big challenge is to find some bombs. That's why ZzCube is taking some vets right there to be able to farm bomb pretty quickly.
And Glan's doing the same thing.
Yep. Is finding the bombs is not as easy as in the light word. And we started with a big key, so bomb jump time.
Unfortunately, just a compass there.
They will both take at that, probably farm up some other bombs.
And probably go down the hole to check the other chests in Skullwoods while they're here. Yep, there goes ZZ.
Yep. Oh, Glan decides to go to the more to the back of Skullwoods first. With that chest that can be very tricky, those skip those with the...
Oh, there's the hook shot! ZZ definitely
Oh.
made the right play going down that hole. I have to imagine Glan will go through there too.
Yeah, for sure. And we can see how hard those skip those hit with only 3 hearts and the... Oh! How unfortunate the Gipto in the door. Oh, heart container.
Yeah, if they just started in Link's house, they could have at least hit Skullwoods with 4 hearts.
Yeah. For the Giptos, problem wouldn't change much, as 2 hits of Giptos would still have killed you, but...
Oh, unfortunately, Glan's saving and quitting out. Let's hope he goes back. Nope.
Oh, blue mail, hammer, heart container, and a piece of heart in Hype Cave.
That is some serious hype today.
Yep. The hammer is very helpful at the beginning. Gives you a lot of damage early on, which you will need because it takes some time to find a couple of swords in Inverted.
And blue mail and 5 hearts is an awful lot better off than green mail and 3 hearts.
Yes. We already have 50% reduction in damage with the blue mail. So everything will hurt. Half that it hurt before.
Now ZZ's probably going to go around to check Stumpy, and then he'll have to farm some rupees if he wants to play the shovel game.
Yep. Except,
oh, the glove!
So we already have access to the light word, but we don't have the moon pearl. Interesting.
Right, and I'm trying to think... Yeah, I guess we also have access to most of the Dark World now, obviously not Misery Mire, since you have to get there with either the flute or mirroring from the Light World. And technically Death Mountain's not in Logic without either the flute or the lamp.
And we see ZzCube using one of the strategies that we see mainly in Inverted, farming up rupees with the archery game. Well, Glan is approaching his hookshot. Has found it, should I say.
Well, ZZ's now got more than enough money because usually you come out ahead in the dig game when it comes to money.
Yes, or if you don't because you get it very early on, you can always give it a couple of more digs and get the rupees. Let's see what's in the Village of Outcasts tonight. Just a piece of heart at the digging game, and 20 rupees in the C-shaped house. ZzCube saving and quitting to get into Village of Outcasts will follow Glan shortly.
Unfortunately, just a bit of money so far.
Yeah. Glan obviously knowing where to get the bomb drops under the bushes. And some more rupees. All we had in Village of Outcasts so far are rupees.
Well, now what'll be interesting is to see if they start to raid Kakariko Village. Glan's going straight for Thieves Town, which is full clearable with the hammer.
Yeah. Although, blind might be a bit of a challenge with 5 hearts, but with the blue mail will help. And here's the Moon Pearl.
Well, that was a worthwhile dip. I'm thinking since it's a pendant dungeon and you just found the Moon Pearl up front, it's probably really only worth doing the front 4 chests, but we'll see what Glan decides to do.
Yeah, most probably. Always depend on how many items you find in the front. There are always 4 items inside of Thieves Town. At least the max that we can have in the front is 3, and I think we got only 1.
Yeah, but it was a big one.
Yeah, but Glan deciding, I still think there might be something in the back, so...
Well, and there's also the hint upstairs, so it's probably worth at least checking the hint.
True.
If he's going to this much trouble anyway.
Let's see if ZzCube will make the same decision. Could be a early difference between our 2 runners. And seem to want to save and quit, but realizes he has Dark World access, so Light World access. Yeah. So
yeah, Kakariko's now fully in logic, and there's so many chests there.
Oh, well, we already know about that item in Skullwoods.
Yeah, isn't it great when the hints just tell you stuff about where you've already been?
Yeah. Seems to happen a lot. But we'll see what pays off if Glan took the right decision to go clear the rest of Thieves Town or not. ZzCube is heading for the forest. Oh, a boomerang.
Good for swag.
Yeah. At least we're not in hard mode, so the boomerang is actually useful.
You know, in
let's see
hints, the blue boomerang is actually referred to as the best boomerang.
Oh,
I thought that was a nice touch.
that's a very nice touch. A very controversial one, but a nice one. And in the well, we got some rupees, some love, and some arrows. And what do we have? We have the other 5-6 crystal on Tower of Hera, the green pendant on Eastern.
Yeah, vanilla green pendant.
And desert being a regular crystal. So it seems like blind has the last object. Oh, early half magic. And red mail.
Yeah, this is a really nice start to the inverted seed. The runners didn't have to flounder around too long at all.
Yeah. My next question will be, when do the runners will go to see their uncle to get their sword?
Right. It's interesting that you can still have an uncle assured sword in inverted when you're not starting anywhere near Hyrule Castle, but uncle is sitting there in the sewers with the sword for you.
Yeah. The nice thing is, if you have access early on to Light World, you know that you'll have a sword. If you don't, there's one less in the pool and it's more risky to be without that sword in the item pool. While Glan is a bit short of health, using buffers to make sure to not hit anything.
And it looks like ZZ's going for the Lost Woods checks now.
Oh, Glan taking an unfortunate death.
Well, barring the unlikely chance of blind having an important item. Speaking of important items, there's the flippers just sitting out there in the woods.
Yeah. That's a nice find.
But I was gonna say, there are exactly 2 items that beating blind would give you progression to. Whatever's on blind and whatever's on the pet.
Yeah.
So all things considered, high risk, low reward.
So let's see what ZzCube will now find. Probably heading for the back of his cave.
Yeah.
And do not forget that because we don't start in Sanctuary, we have to go to the Sanctuary to get that chest.
Oh, and this is another interesting modification, because normally Graveyard Ledge would only be accessible by mirror. In inverted, you can just walk right up to it.
Yeah. Glan finally found his gloves, so now has access to the Dark World as well. Yeah, that ledge and the South of Grove ledge as well has the same modification of the map to allow people to get in without the mirror when in the Light World.
Just a bit more health and money and bombs in the back of Escape.
Yeah, and ZzCube wanted to save and quit, but realizes, I must go in the Sanctuary.
Yep, there is that chest in Sanctuary.
Only 10 arrows, though. It's also important to note we see that ZQ is heading to the light world right now. All the dark world access have the light world access have the same requirements as the dark world access in the vanilla game.
So I'm guessing ZZ's gonna check Cave 45 and Race Game.
Yeah.
Oh! That was a good check.
Yeah, Fire Rod makes Skullwoods fully clearable when we get that sword.
And we know where the sword is, so...
Yeah. So we still don't have it, so...
Well, while he's going... Oh, the cape. That's probably worth getting.
Yeah. Did we see what was on Bumper Cave?
Yeah, I think there were just arrows there, but... Even so... Okay, I guess ZZ doesn't think it's worth it. You know, it's worth it for Spike Cave, which is in logic once we can get to Death Mountain.
Yeah.
I bet ZZ's now gonna pay a visit to Uncle and get his sword.
Yeah. Probably clear out Escape at the same time. Oh. No, seems like not. He's heading
he's doing
for
the South Hyrule checks.
Yeah. Well, Uncle will stay a little bit longer alone.
And honestly, with the flippers and Zora money, it wouldn't surprise me if he goes directly from South Hyrule through the Whirlpool and checks Waterfall Ferry and Zora.
Yeah.
Let's see what Mini Moldorm Cave has today.
Yep. Shouldn't be too much of a problem with the hook shot. Glan getting that money in the thieves' hideout. And 20 rupees. Our first bottle. 10 arrows. Some more rupees. And some more rupees. So... well, let's see when he goes back to check that sick kid.
Oh, now that's interesting. You don't often see runners swimming across Lake Hylia to get to Ice Rod Cave, but it looks like it's a little bit faster.
Yeah, it looks like. Should time this at one point. Glan going through the same checks. Oh, and our second boomerang.
Double the swag, double the fun.
Yep. So now we have the two best boomerangs.
Yes, no one can deny that we've found the best boomerang.
Yes, for sure. let's see what's on Lake Ilia Island. Only 10 arrows. And we can see the little change with the ladder to get up on the island now in inverted.
Yeah, basically all those mirror locations now have direct access. That includes the two we've seen, Mimic Cave, Bombos Tablet, Checkerboard Cave.
And Samaria on the camper under the bridge.
Well, I guess Hobo is a mandatory visit this seed.
Yep.
Because even though you don't necessarily need to do the beginning of Turtle Rock, as our tracker pointed out in chat, there are ways to go directly to Laser Bridge. You still need the cane to get across that final gap to Trinex.
Yeah. And as Myers pendant, that's the only requirement right now for Samaria, except if there's something in the front of Turtle Rock or on the right side of GT.
Okay, Glan's finally gonna get a sword.
Oh. Only 20 rupees on Sora's Ledge, and our first sword, finally, at 21 minutes. Let's see what our friend Zora has for us. Will it be a steal?
Just a life lesson.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was, a commemorative red rupee.
That's another way I was going to say, oh, it's the first interest on his investment, but it will take some time before he gets the rest. ZzCube going to get a potion. Is he heading for Ice Palace?
Looks like he might well be.
Yeah. In inverted, we don't need mitts to enter it, and we already have the fire rod, the hammer, and the hookshot, so everything that we need.
And another hint that we already knew about.
Yeah. Well, then found a little bit more money inside of Escape.
I'm just impressed that ZZ's doing Ice Palace so early.
Yeah. Well, it's true that with Samaria, there's no key disposition that's uncompletable right now.
Right.
And he has the small key to help with the routing inside of Ice Palace. That's always nice. I'm more surprised that he didn't get the first sword before getting in Ice Palace.
I guess he figures there's no way he'd use the fighter sword on Cold Stare anyway.
Yeah.
And looks like Glan's gonna give us our first look of Death Mountain.
Yeah. And with half magic, he knows that it will more likely have enough magic to use that fire rod quite a bit against Cold Stare. Let's see if it pays out. Well, all the hints today.
There's one more hint in Ice Palace. Maybe it'll be something we don't already know.
Hopefully. And ZzCube deciding not to do the bomb jump. It might be, if you're going to do all the checks and get the big key anyways, might be easier.
Now, one thing about returning the old man in Inverted is you actually find him in the Dark World, but he still lives in his cave in the Light World, so you have to go up to the portal and all the way back down. Fortunately, he can survive a fall that would probably kill most old men. I guess he eats his vegetables.
And inversely, Vampire Cave, you need the mirror to be able to get the item. Because you enter the cave in the Light World, where the normal entrance to that mountain is, and then have to mirror when on the top of it.
So far, Ice Palace is looking like a bit of a bust.
Yeah, and the start of the mountain, we found a second barrel in the beginning of a Paradox Cave.
Ooh, the book. Now, the book is important here because in Inverted, it's the only way to get into Desert Palace, and Desert is a crystal, so we know we'll need the book.
Yeah, and we finally found a hint that was useful. Something sharp is in Mimic Cave.
So Glan will probably get that while he's up here.
Yeah.
And with the Master Sword and the book, he can also check Ether Medallion while he's up here.
Mm-hmm. Be very interesting.
However, Glan did not go to Cave 45 to get the Fire Rod, so...
Can it go in the Hera basement?
Yeah.
Might be required, might not, depending on where's the big key.
And there's always the possibility that the lamp shows up in his few remaining checks up here.
Yeah. Well, can it show there? Because it's not in logic right now. He didn't have a light source to get on the mountain. And we don't have the flute yet.
Unless the flute turns out to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Where they could have gotten it.
Yeah, so the lamp can be on the mountain if the flute is somewhere not lamp locked. And not locked with any of the objects we find in the on that mountain. Well,
did all that forget about Mimic Cave?
I don't know. We just decided to start there, but
I mean, to be sure, he hasn't been to Ice. He hasn't seen the hint that there's a sword in Mimic Cave.
No, Cube did. And here's the key, so it will be able to at least finish Hera. Now, depending on where the items are placed, might or might not be able to fully clear a third bottle.
And ZZ's done a really good job with the Fire Rod, making short work of Cold Stare. Unfortunately, more garbage. So apart from that one hint that told us that Mimic Cave has a sword, Ice Palace was a complete bust.
Yep. Still required because it's a crystal, but would have been nice to be able to go mode.
definitely.
That's always a dream of every runner. Be able to go mode. Oh, and
Okay, that's a nice hint that Glan got because it tells us we don't need to go to the firelocked side of Misery Mire.
yeah,
So that can be a
Well-
serious time save.
yeah. At the same time, Mire is a pendant, so hopefully we don't have to go there.
True.
Let's see how Moldarm behaves tonight. Well,
Pretty
very
docile.
nice. Very nice. And we have the small key, so do we still have an object in the basement of Hera?
I lost track.
Yeah, me too. And
If anyone in
interesting.
chat knows, is it a dungeon item or a treasure in Hera basement?
Mm. And Glan is going to check the tablet, but without the Master Sword. Okay.
Just as well.
Yeah. And ZzCube deciding to go on the mountain without a sword, so we'll probably get the one in Mimic Cave, but we'll not be able to get that item on either tablet. Not a big deal, but
Okay, so Glan completely forgot about Mimic Cave there.
yeah,
That's unfortunate.
yeah. Hopefully,
Inverted's so new, I can see, you know, it's easy to not remember exactly what's open in what locations.
all those openings of Turtle Rock and Mimic Cave early on can be puzzling. We're not used to it, and it's sometimes hard to remember.
But ZzCube has the hint, so I would be shocked if he doesn't check Mimic Cave while he's up here.
Yeah. If he doesn't, he really wants to play this one swordless.
Handicapping yourself seems like an odd move.
Yes. Especially since this seat is not swordless, so you will need the sword to at least open the back of Skullwoods and use the medallions for the front of Turtle Rock and kill Ganon, none the least.
Well, the hint that ZzCube just got tells us what we already knew about the Ether Tablet.
Well, we'll be checking that.
Well, ZzCube doesn't know whether that refers to the Ether Tablet or the Bombos Tablet.
True. Glan is getting all the rupees and his third bottle now. We have some nice safeties because with those two of those three bottles have fairies, so that seed was pretty nice on hearts and safeties early on.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the kinder inverted seeds I've seen. Glan's about to get his Cane of Samaria.
Yes. He still has to go to find his fire rod, though. Well, Cube get his book.
Speaking of Fire Rod, I'm hopeful, now that both runners have the book, that when they go back to finish Skull Woods, we'll get to see a ped check from at least one of them.
Yeah, that would be very nice. But it's not as easy to go from Skullwood to the pedestal than in the normal seed. As
Well,
you
it's
need to go in the... Huh? Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, if they have the mirror by that point, it's easier to approach it from Lost Woods, and then you don't have to walk through the middle part of Skull Woods.
Yeah.
But that depends on them getting the mirror before they go back there.
Yes, that's true. You could skip all the middle of Skull Woods that you already cleared. And ZzCube will go inside of Hera.
Now, he hasn't checked Mimic either, but he has the hint, so I sure hope he does it on his way out of Death Mountain.
Yeah, most probably. Oh. And we got Sports Jeffy in the chat that confirms that there's nothing in the Hera basement.
Right, because there was the bottle there, and I think there was another item on the way up. Well, there must have been if we know there's nothing in the Hera basement.
And ZzCube will remind us what that item was, but...
And Glan's getting a life lesson.
Yeah. 4%.
Okay, so there was the second item, just blue rupee. But that also means they don't have to worry about the big chest, even.
Yeah. A very, very quick Hera. Let's see if Moldorm behaves as well as he did with Glan. Yeah, that was also very nice. It seems like Glan will go to Eastern Palace now, or at least the Eastern Palace area.
Definitely gonna loot Sahasrara's closet.
And ZzCube going back on the east side of that mountain, probably getting his sword now.
I don't think he checked Spiral Cave either, which is what he's doing now.
Well, we got nothing much in Sahasrara's closet, except the silvers. Oh, I missed that. Thanks for the delay on the stream. Thanks for the delay on the stream. I was... Oh, there's nothing much. I see the heart and the money. Oh, silvers. Wow. Okay. So no silver last Ganon for Glan today.
Okay, the fact that ZZ did not save and quit makes me think he's gonna go Mimic Cave.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, Glan is going inside of Pendant Eastern.
Well, there are still 3 items there.
Yeah.
Well, there is a dark room.
Can pay off. If there's something there. Could take a while to ZzCube to head.
Now we will finally see the Sword of Evil's Bane.
Yes. And here's the first sword for ZzCube.
Oh, right. He hasn't been to Uncle yet.
Yes, so 40 minutes for the first sword and then Uncle's Shield. Not the kind of seed I was expecting. Or should I say, the kind of rooting.
Yeah, so what's he gonna do now?
Oh, we've got a mushroom in Eastern.
Can you say fetch quest?
Yeah. Fetch quest time.
And in fact, that also means... Oh!
Fetch quest!
Well, I was about to say we can fake powder for magic bat, but...
Apparently no need for it.
The game mooted what I was going to say before I could get it out of my mouth.
Okay, so we already have the wishes of Shovel in Eastern for a full fetch quest Eastern. The worst will be the shovel on the green pendant.
I wonder if someone's cultivating underground blueberries, because there were sure a lot of them in Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah. Those are weird tasting blueberries, though.
Yeah, it might give you indigestion. Well, some nice items in Eastern, at least.
Yeah. And now I'm wondering, if ZzCube never heads there, and there's something in Spike Cave.
Oh!
And we got the boots and Quake. Gotta go fast.
And it looks like Glan is going to the same area, so he will soon have those items as well.
Yeah.
And we now have access. We now have access to the front of TR.
Yeah. I was wondering if Glenn would check the Spike Cave, but seems like not.
At least not for the moment.
Yeah. And... Well! A unique item requires a hook shot.
You think it's talking about the boots or Quake?
Good question. Is there something in the bag of swamp?
Okay. So this is also interesting. Going in the front of TR is Fire Rod locked. We'll see what's behind the Fire Rod here to see if Glan's going to be missing anything for not having gotten it.
Yeah. And depending on the position of the mirror, sometimes the big key or one of the small keys to progress can be in the back part, and you have to go with the mirror. And two small keys here.
So it looks like entering the front of TR might actually be the intended route.
Yeah.
And Glan's not going to get very far without the Fire Rod.
And he released the fairy there.
Maybe he wants to Death Warp out?
Oh, yeah. Would make sense.
You have the Cane of Samaria. I wonder if he's forgotten he has the cane.
Well, he entered into Little Rock with the cane, so... And he's deciding not to go further.
Yes, he must on some level know he has the cane because he's been using it.
Yeah.
It's just a bit odd to see a player use all the magic that it takes for Fire Rod there when they have the cane.
Interesting. Why did he choose not to complete the rest of Turtle Rock and stop there?
I don't know what he's doing.
Seems to be heading for... He will brute force it with the fairy. Well, he has no more fairies, so...
Yeah, is he really gonna waste it?
Blue potion on this?
I guess so. I'm not sure if that's enough hearts. Remember, he turned down the cape earlier.
Yeah. Oh, a piece of art. Interesting. Let's see where he heads out now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if both of our runners are just a little bit tilted from inverted.
Yeah.
And since Cube picked the settings, I guess his gamble was that Glan would wind up more tilted than he would.
Maybe. It will be very interesting to see why he chose inverted.
Well, with the boots and the book and a fire source, we know that desert is full clearable.
Yeah. Still, ZzCube is not going to escape, not going to get his sword. And we have only a piece of art in the lumberjacks, so no Waga one tonight.
Oh, yeah. Chat's pointing out in terms of Cube's key usage. Yeah, now that he has that extra key, he could later on, if he gets the mirror, enter on Laser Bridge and go directly to Trinex.
Oh, yeah. And not clear the rest, and hopefully there's no items in the rest.
Right, presumably he'd only do it if he were in go mode at that point. And we also need to find the ice rod before he can do that.
But items have a bad tendency to be on Laser Bridge or Inter Rock in general.
And Glan just finally did the sick kid check, but only some more bombs there.
Yeah. That might be why he was so sick, eating those weird blueberries.
Could be. Probably thinks he has food poisoning. Glan is also ignoring the cape.
Yeah. I can understand a bit more from Glan with Berna already in his possession.
Well, I'm sure Glan's now relieved to see the fire rod.
ZzCube getting ether.
For all that, it looks like boots are almost certainly not required in this seed. Unless the item that we don't know about in Meyer happens to be needed and Meyer is ether locked. Or there's something on Bob's torch.
Yeah. Or... yeah. That's... Bob Torch is the last one I can figure out. Or... yeah, Bunk Rocks. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb. Forgot about those.
Yeah. Let's see if he decides to make those checks. Oh, and my art tracker reminding us that Glan already checked Bonk Rocks.
Now that Glan finally has a fire source, he too will probably full clear desert.
Yeah. What do we still need for the go mode right now? We need the ice rod, we need the bow, and
Mirror. For swamp.
Yeah. In logic, we would need a lamp, but most probably those runners will not care too much of not having the lamp.
And another interesting thing about Inverted is we don't necessarily need the Titan's mitts. In fact, there are very few things that are locked by the mitts.
Yeah.
I mean, the blacksmith quest and hammer pegs are still locked by the mitts.
Hmm. Well, we can do a bit of the smith chain with the mirror without the mitts.
Oh, true, you could do the smith. You couldn't get the purple chest without the mitts. Hammer pegs, as I said. Oh, and you can't do King's Tomb without the mitts because you can't mirror inside the dark rocks.
Yeah. And you can mirror to purple chest, you can enter to light world, and then mirror in. But, and you could get out after. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess if you can mirror in from light world, you get you can do hammer pegs too.
Yeah. It seems that all those usually locked location and are now accessible by the mirror. And we will see now Skullwoods. While Glen is getting through a perfect Landmolus fight to get his fire shield now.
And there is still a second item somewhere here in Skullwoods.
Yeah. We found a hookshot really early on, and now we'll see if it is Mothula that has the second item or not. I'm still wondering, life would have been easier with the Master Sword instead of Fighter Sword.
But with half magic, it's not too bad just killing him with a fire rod.
Maybe he hopes to go and get that sword just before Ganon's Tower.
Glan's now unfortunately going to waste a lot of time in Ice Palace, though at least he'll now know that he needs to go back to Mimic Cave to get the Master Sword. But it'll be an awfully big time sink just to learn that one piece and get a crystal.
Yeah. And we're still looking for the second item in Skullwoods. And it is Bombos.
Well, at least now we know that if something like the bow is in Mire, we can get in.
Yep.
That said, Mire does require the mirror to access. Or the flute.
Yes.
So we don't have either at the moment.
And at this point, we want to see the mirror, but the flute, not necessarily.
Well, except what's interesting is, as we discussed earlier, Death Mountain is still not technically in logic.
Yeah.
Because it requires either the lamp or the flute. So we have to see one of those eventually to put Death Mountain in logic.
Yeah. Where are those, though?
Ooh, looks like we're getting a ped check.
Oh, let's put some ped hype in the chat.
It's not going to be the bow. Oh. Just some vampire skewers.
Yeah. Nothing that we will come back for. No more pet hype. What are the locations that are left available in logic for the lamp or the flute to be?
Well, Mushroom was definitely not in the Darklock part of Eastern. I can't remember if... Oh, right, it was the Cane of Burner that was on the Darklock side, so Mushroom and Powder were both on the light side of Eastern, so... Either the Witch or Magic Bat could be in logic for the lamp.
Blind.
And we don't actually... I was just about to say, yeah.
Blind was in logic.
Was so quick, I did not see what was on Lumberjack.
Oh, it was a piece of fire height.
Okay, so Aga officially dead.
Yeah. Oh, we've seen Escape from Glan, so the lamp was not in Escape.
Maybe ZZ's finally gonna go to Escape, speaking of.
Maybe. Where is he heading for Eastern? Yeah. No, Escape.
Glan finally gets his clue about Mimic Caves, so hopefully he'll get back up there at some point to upgrade his sword. So now, finally, almost an hour in, we see the Master Sword for the first time.
Yes. We'll see. I think we made all the checks in logic in Escape. The only one that we didn't see was the chest in the dark. And the lamp cannot be there.
So now I was just thinking, what?
So I see a lot of pod in the chat.
Yeah, no, I was just starting to think that, yeah, if there's a key in the shooter room, we could go pretty deep into pod and still be in logic.
Yeah. And we'll see couples of nice hammer hits by Glan.
Okay, 2 puffs down. And there's the 3rd. Cold Stare's not too bad with red mail.
Yeah. So it was a pretty clean fight from Glan.
Oh yeah, chat saying East Dark World in general. Yeah, we haven't seen the pyramid yet. We haven't seen,
Catfish.
right. So I wonder what ZzCube's planning to do that he's going to the trouble to death warp out of here rather than save and quit.
We'll probably check the chest in the dark. But with red mail, a death warp is long to set up. And Glan is going to check the hint here.
Another useless hint.
Might be referring to the sick kid.
Now that's not a portal you see very often.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for checking catfish.
I didn't know about that one. Interesting routing.
I've gone into it accidentally a few times, but even so, I forgot exactly where it went.
And only some bombs in the dark of escape. And it seems like ZzCube might be heading to pod
Oh,
now.
wow, there's the mirror.
Oh, so...
Oh, right, he can't mirror in that direction.
No. No, that's the hard part. Remember, I must use the mirror to go back to Dark World. I always forget.
Yeah. But that puts a number of things in logic, including, as we discussed, the Smith quest and hammer pegs, and also Misery Mire.
Yeah, as well as Swamp is full clearable now.
And it looks like that might be where Glan's going.
Yep.
It does have 6 items in it.
Yeah, the richest dungeon in terms of items.
And unfortunately, since the hints were busy being useless, we haven't seen any hints yet about what might be on the left side of Swamp.
Yeah. ZzCube is heading for pod now, so it'll be interesting to see what of the two pays more. And our first useless hint. Well, official useless hint.
Nicely in green and with a little link icon so that you can be absolutely sure it's useless.
Yeah.
And there's the key in shooter room, so we can continue into pod and logic.
Yeah.
Does Cube have a potion? I know he used one.
I don't think so, because he had 2 fairies, he got rid of them to be able to death warp, and use the potion he bought to do Spike Cave, so I think he has no potions left.
So we can't get to the bow-locked side of it.
Yeah, except if he finds potion somewhere in pod.
And it's entirely possible that there are 2 items on the bow-locked side of pod.
Yeah. A unique item is in Turtle Rock. Interesting. So we know that we did not see that unique item.
Of course, it could be something useless like the swag net or the single arrow.
Yeah. Glan decided not to go for the west part of Swamp at first. Be interesting to see if he goes back after clearing it.
No. ZzCube's not even going to bother lighting the torch. He's just going to do this section in the dark so that we can't see what he's finding.
And we found the big key inside of those chests in the back of Swamp. And some rupees.
I think ZzCube might be wishing he lit one of those torches now.
Yeah. Oh, we at least have seen the second item that was a heart container. I don't know what was the first one though.
Well, he thinks it's a key, or else he wouldn't be checking this chest. Nope, that's a key, so it must have been something not a key. Is he going to bring up his menu or anything?
And some more dark rooms. While we see Glan with those nice double spins. And we got something else that we couldn't see.
Yeah, I don't even know if he found the big key in there.
Yeah.
Is that something we'd see if it came up?
I don't think we would see the big key.
I mean, if he menus, we'll know, but...
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Glan putting down Argus.
That has only the map.
Well, he got the big key at some point.
Yeah. So one of the two items that we didn't know must have been the big key. Oh. And our tracker has seen that he has now a tempered sword, so one of them must have been a sword.
Yep,
Yeah.
there he is waving that tempered sword. Glan, meanwhile, now going to left side swamp. I totally wasn't counting items, so I don't know how many to expect there.
I think there's 2 or 3. Argus had the map. We found the big key in the chest in the back. So, at least 2.
And Glan is now protected from any riots that may occur in Swamp Palace.
Yeah. So...
Alright, ZzCube doesn't have the mirror, so if he wants to go back into TR, he has to go through the front. So as we know, he's going to have to make that catfish trip at some point.
Yep. Cool. We still have to see when, though. Could take a while.
Just to address chat, if the big key happens to be in this chest, he can even continue deeper.
Yeah. And here's the lamp.
Of all the places.
And here's the flute! In left side swamp. Well, we were wondering about the lamp and the flute. We got them both at the same time.
So, let's think this through in terms of what the logic wanted. Logic wanted you to go to Catfish, get the mirror, go into Left Side Swamp, get the flute, and flute to Death Mountain.
Yep. That was... It was better with the sequence break.
Yeah, just a bit.
And we still have to figure out where is that ice rod.
And the bow.
Yeah.
So I guess Cube will full clear Thieves to see what items on blind.
Yeah. Well, as long as he doesn't go to Catfish, he doesn't have access to Swamp and...
Or the rest of TR.
Yeah, and no access to Meyer either. The flute is locked behind a mirror.
Right. It looks like Glan's doing his pet check now.
So... The only other check he still has, except for the Dark World, Overworld, is Eastern, that he did not dip.
Right, and we still haven't seen what's behind the mushroom or the powder.
No. I'm very curious to see what's on blind. If something is there, it will take a long time before Glan goes back. If there's nothing, ZzCube just lost a bunch of time that he could have saved on Glan.
Yeah, amazingly, Glan's about to get his third crystal since the last time Cube picked up a crystal.
Yeah. Muzzle is gone. Fifth crystal for Glan.
And that's the last crystal he can get until we find out where the bow and ice rod are.
Yeah. So now, where will he head out? He still didn't go in pod. Might choose to... Did he see the hint that a unique item is in Turtle Rock, or was it Cube?
I think only Cube saw that.
That would be interesting to go deeper, and he can because he has the mirror, and get his Master Sword at the same time. And only 20 rupees on blind.
So that was unfortunately a waste of time, so... All of a sudden, while it looked for most of the seed like Cube had the lead, I'd say Glan's ahead now.
Yeah, with the mirror. Certainly looks like Glan has the lead now. No lead is safe, though.
And he's gonna do the Smith quest.
where is ZzCube going now? Looks like Eastern play. We'll get his silvers and maybe mushroom and powder if he decides to go inside of Eastern. And only 50 rupees on the Smiths. Let's see what the magic bat has for us.
More bombs.
Yeah, we didn't see enough. So now time for the pegs.
So what do we have left that we haven't seen? Pegs obviously here in purple chest. The fourth bottle. Glan's not even gonna touch it.
Except for the back of Turtle Rock that we can access with the mirror. We've seen what we could have Eastern, what we could have Pod. There's Mire that with the flute and the mirror on Glan's side we can access now.
Right. There's only one item in Mire that we don't know about, but there is also the two items in Mire's shed.
Yeah. What's a total of 3 items? But we know that there's a unique item in the back of Turtle Rock. Glan doesn't know. Although we don't know which unique item. At this point though, what unique items did we not see? The net was on the pyramid as our tracker was reminding us. We saw the cape. So we didn't see the single arrow.
Haven't seen the shovel.
Yeah. So, and we're still missing the bow and the ice rod. So if we consider that there's 4 unique items left in the pool, 50% chance of something in the back of Turtle Rock.
Is that really all we're missing? Wow. Yeah, no, I'm looking. Oh, Titan's mitts. Glove upgrade counts as a unique item.
Yes, Titan mints.
Oh yeah, chap pointing out that the lamp that we got in TR could be the unique item.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot about that one. I'm wondering why. We're so excited to know where the lamp was, finally. Why did I forget that? Well, let's see what's in Mire's shed now. ₹20 and 20 more rupees. And he decides not to go inside of Mire.
Which is understandable for one item.
Yeah, the start of Mire is pretty long. We'll probably go get his second sword and most probably check Turtle Rock at the same time.
Okay, Cube still doesn't have the mirror, but he'll probably check Magic Bat right here.
Yeah. Oh, and he didn't check Sick Kid, so we'll get the poisonous blueberries from the kids.
So Glan's now going up here, and since he has the mirror, he will almost certainly be going into Laser Bridge, and it seems like he is forgetting to check Mimic Cave. I mean,
yeah,
he has the fighter sword, he got that hint, he knows there's a Master Sword in Mimic Cave, and he's just blanking on it.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Well, maybe he wants to get the big key before going to Mimic Cave and then Mirror.
Oh yeah, he could do that and then check it. And there's the Ice Rod!
The Ice Rod. So, Turtle Rock now clearable.
And it looks like he's about to do that.
Yeah, so we'll see a Hammer Trinex. And let's see what the mushroom has for us. And only some more rupees.
Which he's collecting on principle.
Yeah. Glan spamming that fire rod to get rid of the last head.
Now has to do hammer strats on purpose. Okay, looks like ZzCube is finally going to be getting his mirror.
Yeah. We'll be 2 dungeons behind. And let's see what Trinex has for us. A piece of art.
But Cube does have that tempered sword, so he should have a faster Trinex battle.
Yeah. This will help him get back.
And also Glan's now doing the front of TR, so...
Yeah. Well... I was going to say, we'll probably mirror out and then do Mimic Cave and the chest, but... Still has... Without the myths, has no... Has to go back to the western Death Mountain to be able to do so.
I like those burnout charges.
Yeah. It's very useful, and you get a magic refill here anyways. That
Which he's not bothering with.
Yeah. Making me lie. While ZzCube is heading for Swamp now.
Which I assume he will also full clear.
Most probably.
And looks like Glan does not want to check those 2 chests in the middle of... Oh no, he's going back in.
Hmm. Interesting.
We know there's the
lamp.
The lamp. And then there's the big chest, and then there's also the Crystal Roller Room chest. We haven't seen that one either.
Oh, true. And he's safe in quitting. Hmm.
Okay, our tracker reminding us that we haven't seen the compass in PR, and I haven't been counting keys, so one of them may well be a key for all I know.
Yeah. I remember seeing at least 3 keys, but I don't know if we've seen the 4th.
Well, let's see if Glan now goes and finally picks up the Master Sword in Mimic Cave, and maybe then mirrors and shows us what's in the mid-levels of TR.
Yeah. Could be a quicker way to check the lava room chest, and the big chest from there. Then after mirroring to the front.
Wow, this seed gets healthier and healthier. I just noticed the cube now has 14 hearts.
Yeah. 14 hearts, red mail.
Doesn't need to worry about dying anytime soon.
And here's the Master Sword for Glan.
So he is now a bow away from go mode.
Yeah. And in theory, he is a lamp away, but... And here it is! At 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 15 seconds, we are in go mode.
Now, the thing is, he's probably not gonna be... Well, actually, it depends where the big key to pod is. We know it was somewhere in the back.
Yeah.
So he is gonna have to check much of pod, and depending whether the big key or the sword upgrade comes first, he might even get tempered.
Yeah, it all depends if it was in the... I'm wondering if it was in the... No, we don't see the sword when we're in the dark room, so that's not why ZzCube didn't check in the first room.
ZzCube having a nice fast Argus fight with the tempered sword.
Yeah, well, Glan is showing us a way to route to pod with the mirror in inverted, without having to do all the small trails to pod. So, Turtle Rock was pretty charged. We had the lamp, ice rod, and bow inside it.
And 2 out of 3 of those items were mirror lock.
Yeah.
So not surprisingly, Cube is going to do left side swamp and find his flute.
Yeah. I was wondering, in logic, could the runners have done Turtle Rock in one go? The fire rod was not locked behind the lamp.
Yeah, they could have easily, because Catfish was accessible, it's just far out of the way, so no one checks it.
Yeah. So Turtle Rock was doable in one go. The seed was kinder to our runner than what it turned out to be.
Now, this is interesting. Glan did not check the bow-locked side of pod, even though he doesn't know that the big key isn't there.
Interesting. Let's see if he finds the sword here. And yes, it was a sword here. So he got his tampered.
Okay. I just saw him pick up a piece of heart in there.
Yeah, when he pulled up the menu, we could see it for a few seconds.
And now we can see him charging with it.
Yep. With a bit of luck, he will use that torch. No.
He's as obstinate as Cube there.
Yeah. So got the big key. Going right at the back of pod. No other checks to do.
Now, where is Cube going? We know that the only place he's gone find progression is TR.
Yeah. Oh, maybe doing this mid-chain now?
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, because he knows, even if he doesn't know where the ice rod is, he knows there are 6 chests he could be opening in TR.
Yeah. Maybe he wants to make sure that he doesn't want to go back on the mountain all that way around and miss the ice rod somewhere else.
So I was just thinking, Glan will shortly be getting his 7th crystal, and you know what that makes it time for.
Yes, indeed. It will be soon the time for the GD Big Key guessing game. Do you want to explain it? Do you want me to explain it?
You can have the honors. Okay,
so when Glan is done with Halmazor, we'll start that game. If you are a subscriber of one of the Speed Gaming channels, or if you have given 250 bits to one of the channels, you can guess a number between 1 and 22 for one of the 22 places where the GD Big Key can be. The closest one can be on the leaderboard. And here's a quick Halmazor.
Down goes Helm. Nice thing about having silvers there.
Oh, and the butter sword and Halmazor.
Okay, we're gonna have a quick Ganon fight when we get there.
Yes. Do you have any guesses for where the Biki might be?
I think I'll go with 10 just because I haven't guessed 10 in a while. How about you?
I usually guess 12 or 15. I see them both on the already in the guesses, so I'll see. Let's say 20.
Oh.
A very late Big Key.
Well, if it's 21, do you think we'll go right first and that'll be one of the chests behind Ice Armos, or?
Oh, yeah. Behind
right
Ice Armos.
And, of course, we have someone who had to guess 22 for Tile Room.
Yeah. I mean, what's the point of looking a race if we cannot be mean at times?
Now remember, as we mentioned at the beginning, Ganon's Tower and Aga Tower have swapped places, so Glan is getting into GT this way, through what would normally be Aga Tower.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going left first.
Oh, interesting. And we have a small key on the first one.
I wonder if he's going to do Dark Magician or just go full left.
Yeah. To remind everybody, Dark Magician strat being you check that the 5 first locations, then mirror out, go do the right side.
And Dark Magician
Second.
himself has denounced that strat, for what it's worth.
Didn't know that.
But Glan is doing Dark Magician.
Yeah, only found a lot of keys.
Now, he has a big lead, so really, probably doesn't matter which order he opens the chests in here, I'm sure. He could get through all 22 chests before Cube is in GT at this point.
Yeah, with still 2 dungeons to go for Cube. This will be a hard one to get back. Everything can happen. We've seen a couple of fallen Ganon Tower or very unfortunate events, but still, it is Glan race to lose.
Yeah, I was calming a race last week where one runner took a death in the final room before Aga 2, and that gave the other runner enough time to catch up. Well, we got the Titan's Mitts there.
Yeah, and that was the...
that was 11, I believe.
11, yeah. 5, 6, 7, plus 4, 11.
Yeah, so map room will be 12. And then we have Rando Room and Fire Snake Room and Ice Armos, and if all that fails, Tile Room.
Yeah.
Well, it was just a little love.
Yeah. Because we didn't have enough love since the beginning. We always want more love. Speaking of love, don't forget to give some love to the runners and follow them.
Definitely. Especially since they are playing in a group that is wide open at the moment.
Yes. Still a lot of matches to go.
Finally getting his Ice Rod.
Here's the shovel in chest.
Hey, maybe GT
13.
Big Key's in the shovel spot, and we're playing Key Sanity and we just don't know it.
Yeah, all the keys were in their vanilla dungeon except for GT Big Key, isn't it? Well, I would be surprised, but 14, 15, the map, 16, some rupees, and 17, another heart container to put us up to 17 hearts. So let's see what is in Bob chest. Well, we won't see Bob today as we have taken the key.
Right. He was killed early on.
Yeah, sorry. Let's see, for 18, some rupees, so if it's not behind Ice Armos, it is a tile room. ZzCube is going through Trinex.
Making pretty short work of him since he actually has the Tempered Sword. There we go, 19.
19. Oh. Let's see if anybody was on it. Oh, we have Rocky 2418, that was 18. I don't see any 19.
Rocky 2418, as you said, was the closest. So congratulations to you.
Yeah, congrats. And we'll see now the ascent in G Tower. ZzCube going to go and check the middle of Turtle Rock and soon to find his bow there.
And then he just needs to run into Pod and he can go straight to Helm.
Yeah, he already has a big key, so it will be a bit faster than Glan, but still, Glan is well ahead right now.
Yep, he's in the middle of the gauntlet. And at an hour, 41 minutes, and 33 seconds, ZzCube is finally in go mode.
Yep. Glan's making good use of that fire rod since the beginning of the gauntlet. Very clean Wizrobe room. Well, ZzCube is entering Pod now.
Okay. So Glan's not going for the magic. I was just thinking there. There was a match earlier today where a runner actually managed to despawn the tower, which is what happens if you go up those stairs on the same frame that the torches from the previous screen go out. And he went all the way to Moldorm, not realizing he despawned the tower either.
Oh, that's unfortunate. You must be pretty unlucky. Look at this.
Yeah, now that was a nice clean Moldorm fight.
Yes, it was. Agatu next on the line.
Oh, and to answer chat, no, that runner was lucky he had a big enough lead that it did not cost him the race.
Oof.
We're gonna have parallel boss battles here.
Yep. Oh, a nice double to begin with. One shot here. Oh, a nice triple. Yep, it was. Yep. That was very nice.
So, just to address chat, what I mean by the tower despawning is if you go up those stairs right as the torches go out, all the enemies in the tower will disappear. Which means you can't beat the tower because even if you hover to get past Moldorm, there's no Agatu.
And we will soon smell some bacon. Cannon fight.
But not while humming with our noses closed.
No, no, no. Let's try this. No, doesn't work. And ZzCube heading for Ganon's tower now. Glen's still having 2 fairies, I think. Is did not do any death warps.
Yes, during retreat, you were correct. That was the match that the despawn happened in. So you can probably find the VOD here on SG5 if you want to check it out from earlier.
And here it goes.
Get your
Prepare
GGs
your
in
GG.
chat.
So GG to Glan, that finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 46 minutes and 15 seconds.
Well, I'm sure that's a relief to be under 2 hours, because these runners' last races was an all dungeons key sanity where Glan won with a time of 2 hours 23 minutes. So
Yeah,
he shaved more than half an hour off that.
yeah, that's always nice.
So while we watch Cube go through GT, let's see if we can get Glan in here.
Yeah.
He's in the waiting room. Hey, Glan, GG.
Thank you.
GG indeed. What did you think of that seed?
It was overall, it was a pretty okay seed. I kind of played it pretty badly. I was all over the place, forgetting stuff.
Well, what do you think was the key play that got you the lead there?
If I'd have to pick something, it would probably be the Turtle Rock dip, or maybe the Catfish play when I did to get the mirror.
The second one. The second one was the right one.
Because that's what allowed you to do the Turtle Rock.
That's true.
At that point, you were a bit behind in the number of dungeons, and then you got the lead and didn't lose it after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took Cube quite a while to find the, to get over to Catfish and find the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I went there because, one of the hints said a unique item is with someone friendly. Which I took to mean that, although in discussing with Cube after the race, he reminded me that that could have meant the glove from Stumpy. So it was a bit of a false pretense, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Well, that's like, there was the hint that there was a unique item in TR, and of course there were many unique items in TR, as it turned out.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even get that hint, because I co-moded pod.
Yeah, and you did miss one of the unique items in TR, which was the lamp in the middle of the lava room.
Yeah. You don't particularly need that. I was really wondering where it was, though, because there was only a handful of locations it could have been at that point.
Yeah.
Well, and what's ridiculous is that since logic expects you to have either the lamp or the flute to get up Death Mountain, it was expecting you to first get the mirror from Catfish, then the flute from Swamp before going to Death Mountain.
Swamp, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of an interesting chain there.
And then there was also your rapid acquisition of sword upgrades at the end.
Yeah, that kind of took me by surprise. I was like, I specifically saved and quit out of Turtle Rock and went back in the Light World so I get the sword from Mimikyu. And I was like, well, I Didn't even need to do that.
So how are you feeling about the tournament in general? I believe this makes you 4-2, which at the moment is second place in your group.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty okay about it. I think a big deciding factor will be how I do against Fantalis. I haven't played any matches against him yet. I'm going to be doing some later this week. But I think, because I think he's in third place right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's
So
a tight cluster.
Yeah, so like if I lose to him, then I'm giving him second place, basically. So, I don't see Fryme losing first place.
No.
He's 9-2, I think, right
I think
now?
11-2 now.
11-2, yeah. Okay, I'm pulling it up. 11-2.
So he's pretty well locked down first place in the group, but second place is still wide open.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't lose any of your future matches, you can join him in first place.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess that Fantalis series will be key, and then of course you and ZzCube still have one more game against each other.
Yeah. Which will be random settings.
Yeah.
Those are always
Have you
fun.
already scheduled that one?
No, we haven't scheduled yet. We haven't picked modes either, so interested to see what comes up.
Yeah.
I'm down to play pretty much anything.
I was wondering, is Inverted one of the modes that you like to play or not?
I enjoy it. I haven't really played it that much, so like some of the things aren't fully cemented in my brain about how to route it. But it's fun to play.
I think most of us are still figuring out what the optimal routing is in Inverted.
Yeah, there's like some corner cases and stuff that I don't really think of fast enough when I'm playing.
Though all told, this was a really nice seed for Inverted in terms of giving you overworld access really quickly and mail upgrade.
Yeah, get blue mail pretty quickly. Like, I had blue mail going into the blind fight, so it was in Sphere 1. I think it was in Hype Cave.
Yes.
Yeah, that and the hammer. I mean, it was a pretty hype cave for a change.
Yeah. What did blind have? Did we actually see that?
Blind did have 20 rupees. ZzCube
Okay.
checked it probably about an hour, 30 minutes in.
Yeah, I kind of... Well, I mean, I rightfully just gave up and left the first time because it's just dependent. But I could have gone back to kill him after activating the flute, and I didn't really think of it.
Yeah. You did?
Well, there were other checks to be made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal.
And you use very well those buffers to make sure to not get hit, but there were a lot to dodge there.
Yeah, that didn't quite work out. Hammer blind can be... It's much more punishing to lose the script than with sword. But there is as much of a scripted fight with the hammer.
And Cube now taking out Aga 2, and we'll be heading to Ganon, also with the gold sword and silver arrows for hopefully an easy fight.
Yeah, it should be a quick one. Don't blink.
And don't hum with your nose closed either.
Yeah. I'm wondering how many people try this for the first time after Ganon told them that. I'm certainly one of the culprits.
You can sorta, kinda do it, but not really. So Cube already on phase 3 with Ganon. So all told, should be about a 10-minute difference, so definitely closer than you guys' previous race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of to blame for that one. I picked some brutal settings.
You just thought Key Sanity all dungeons would run.
Yeah, and no swords as well. Makes it more fun.
Do you enjoy that this seed was not 2 hours and 23 minutes?
It's nice to do fast stuff. I
And
really...
GG's to ZzZCube, who's about to walk through the door.
Send your GGs in the chat.
Yeah, I like kind of how key sanity routing works and kind of just the general kind of gameplay with that mode, but I also appreciate just the faster modes too, because they're faster. So, I'm happy to play pretty much anything.
Okay, let's see if we can get Cube in here now.
Yeah, that's always nice to be up to play anything in a tournament where most of the modes are open.
Yeah. I feel like I maybe should have picked some retro, but I don't know. Because people hate retro.
and we have ZzCube setting up, so if he joins, we can start.
Hey, ZzZCube, GG.
GG.
GG indeed. What did you think of that seed?
I really got owned by the lamp in this one. And perhaps by proxy, that hint in Palace of Darkness. If I don't get that, I don't go back to Turtle Rock, I don't go back to Thieves Town, I find the mirror probably 15 minutes faster. And that's the race.
Yeah, the mirror was the race.
Yeah, finding that lamp there scared me into thinking, oh crap, that really boosts the chances that Thieves Town's important. So I gotta go back there, because Glan probably did that. It wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, Glan did do that. He actually did it first thing and faced blind with 3 hearts and didn't beat him.
Nice, time save. Well done.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on Inverted in general, since you were the one who chose this mode for this race?
I've been enjoying it. This is the first seed I played where the lamp was, or not the lamp, the mirror, excuse me, was really, really lost. And it's a lot more of a slog if you don't have that item.
Yeah.
Well, you know how it is. Catfish only has something useful if you don't remember to check him.
Well, it wasn't that I forgot. I just really didn't have a good opportunity to get over there until I did because of the way it worked out. And that's going to happen, right? That's the game. My goal coming in was to be in Ganon's Tower before Glan finished.
You achieved that.
And it may have been by all of 10 seconds, but I managed that much.
Yeah. That's a good goal, and
it was a closer race than your previous race, so that's also good.
Yeah, I didn't have to throw any bombs at Vitreous this time.
Do you enjoy that it was not a 2 hour and 40-minute seed?
Well, to be fair, that seed was 2 hours 40 minutes was mostly my fault, so there is that.
It didn't seem like an easy one to do, so...
No, it wasn't. I actually don't mind Swordless that much. Really, I'm good. As long as you don't shuffle the pots on me, I don't really care. I'll play anything. But if pot shuffle is like actually just the work of Satan.
Yeah. And did you have any thoughts behind selecting an inverted mode?
Yeah, I'd scheduled 2 regular old opens before this, and I was like, well, let's try something else.
Hmm.
Why not? I didn't want to play Key Sanity against Glan, because that would be a whole fool's endeavor.
And I have to say, apart from the mirror issue, you handled inverted really well.
Yeah, I think I got it figured out as a general rule, but yeah, without the mirror, like everything is like just so much worse.
Yeah, up
It's
to
shocking.
that point, I'd say your routing was actually better than Glan's.
Yeah, the first 45 minutes or so was good.
Yeah, at some point you had 2 dungeons ahead, 2 crystals.
Yeah, I did a bunch of overworld checks. I did like basically full clear light world before getting to any dungeons, I think.
How quickly did you get into
Hera.
Ice Palace? Out of curiosity.
I did Hera first. Ice, I did. When did I
You
do
still
that?
did it fairly early, not as early as Cube, but
Yeah, basically every
I
item I
didn't-
had said go to Ice Palace.
I
So
didn't
I
get the
did.
fire on until after Hera. I think Ice was the first dungeon I did with the fire on.
Fair enough.
Maybe it was Desert. I think it was Desert first and then
yeah, I
Ice.
think you might have done Desert first because you had the book at that point.
Yeah. And I did Catfish right after Ice. I took the Whirlpool.
That would do it.
Yeah, we were commenting at the time because you don't see too many runners take that Whirlpool, though in a normal mode there would be effectively no reason to ever do that.
Yeah, it's pretty rarely useful.
Well, that one was very useful to get that mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that mirror locked half the seat. I mean, when you get to it, last possible spot like I did, you're going to be in trouble. Best case scenario, it's close. It wasn't.
Oh, so Cube, one other thing I was curious about was you put off routing in Uncle even though you knew Uncle had a sword.
Yeah, I wasn't too worried about it. I knew I was going to get over there eventually. I don't need the sword for much of anything. Especially early on like that. Like, I'm not considering Vitreous at any point there, right, where I might want to have a sword to make it easier.
Yeah, though, if the tablets had had anything useful, you wouldn't have had to have gone back.
Yeah, but the book is always bait. That's whatever.
It does seem that way. I'm just glad it was a fairly early book, because book is a horrible, horrible item, especially in
And I've definitely played a lot of Inverted Seeds where book is your go mode and it's lost in space.
So let's see what Cube's sword stats by boss were, because Glan's, it was a big jump. 6 fighter sword, 1 tempered, 3 golden. And Cube is much more spread out here.
And 166 checks. Well, any final thoughts?
Thanks for the commentary, thanks for the restream, thanks for the tracking, thanks to Speak Gaming for putting this whole thing on.
And
most
thanks to
importantly,
you
thanks
guys.
to the chat.
And chat, again, please follow these runners.
Yeah, don't forget to follow the runners. Don't forget to follow my co-commentator and Trosy one and our tracker, Mind of Me.
In particular, if you're a fan of watching weird things happen in this game, you should follow Glan. because he plays some interesting modes. So,
Oh, I certainly do. I've been known to play a lot of no logic and no logic swordless entrance shuffle.
if you want to see a seed where someone kills Voldorm 6 times,
I'll certainly have a look.
And as for the tournament itself, this is actually today's nightcap race. The next races will be at 2:30 Eastern tomorrow afternoon on Speed Gaming 4 and Speed Gaming 5. And then we have a whole slate going through the afternoon, evening, all the way up to 11:30 tomorrow night. With no fewer than 10 races currently scheduled for the Speed Gaming family of channels.
A lot of rando coming up.
And a lot of different modes to choose from.
Yep. So, well, GG again to both of our runners.
And thank you. It was a pleasure working with you tonight.
It was a pleasure working with you as well.
So with that, I think we'll be out of here. Have a good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night.